Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. We are from Group F with the title Nuclear Energy Source. I would like to introduce my teammates, which are IZZAH F1002, Akila F1013, and me, AINA SAFIA F1049. Nuclear energy will produce from nuclear power plant. Here's what you will learn about our slide. First, operational system. Second, initial cost and maintenance cost. Next, full availability. The location, coolant system, environmental pollution, output power, advantages and disadvantages. Last but not least, renewable energy or non-renewable energy.
So let's get started. Number 1, operational system. In this point, we will learn about how nuclear power plant work. But first thing you need to know is the principles of operation. The difference between nuclear energy source from other is in how the heat is created. Mostly, power plants produce heat by burning coal, oil or natural gas. However, in a nuclear energy plant, heat is produced from splitting a nucleus in two, which is called nuclear fission process. Let's study the diagram. The simplified diagram shows us the operational system of nuclear power plant. Please take a note, control rods and nuclear reactor are placed in primary circuit, while steam line, steam generator and turbine is in secondary circuit, while the condenser and cooling tower is tertiary circuit. In the pink area, which is primary circuit, the nuclear energy is created by a nuclear reactor in a power plant. The control rods used in the nuclear reactor is to control the fission of chain reaction. Those reactions produce heat energy. When there is heat energy, the heat converts water into steam. Steam accelerates a turbine. The turning of the turbine makes the coil of wire turn into magnetic field. When the turbine is turning, the electromagnetic induction is produced in a generator, then the electrical energy is transmitted equally to national grid. This is the video about nuclear fission. Fission is the process of splitting a nucleus in two. Inside each uranium fuel, for instance, there are millions of uranium nuclei. When the nuclei are split, a huge amount of energy is released. Some of this energy is from radiation, but the biggest source is kinetic energy. Kenapa tenaga kinetik paling banyak? Ini adalah kerana atom-atom tu tidak akan duduk senyap. Dia akan menghasilkan gerakan. Bila dia hasilkan gerakan, akan terjadinya haba. Okay, as you can see, the yellow part is the nuclear reactor. As I said earlier, the nuclear reactor part is a primary circuit. Okay, you can see the control rod and the nuclear fission occurred. In this nuclear reactor, the water was heated from 270 degrees Celsius until 320 degrees Celsius. The heated water passing through the steam generator and returns to the reactor vessel through the closed primary circuit. The heat transferred to the bundle of U-shaped cubes. This superheated water is carried to a steam generator. The heat in this is used to turn a secondary supply of water to steam, which is in turn used to drive the turbine. The turbine was connected to a rotating shaft to a generator. Thus, the result, the electrical energy is produced. Let's move on to the next point, initial cost and maintenance cost. How much nuclear power plant costs? For initial cost, nuclear energy required higher cost. This is because the building, safety equipments and also the systems must meet higher standards than the other energy source. While for the nuclear maintenance cost, they must include labor and overheads, which means the company must take care of the welfare of the workers. Also provides property taxes, invest in labor costs and also spend money to material costs.
Point number 3 is full availability. What type of nuclear fuel used in nuclear power plant? Nuclear fuel is a material used in nuclear power station to produce heat to power turbines. Nuclear fission process mostly use uranium-233, uranium-235, and plutonium-239. Plutonium-238 radioactive decay in radioisotope thermoelectric generators and atomic batteries are rarely used.
Point number 4 is the location. The statistic shows the nuclear electricity generated in each countries. For more than 19 years, nuclear energy has provided the world with reliable electricity. Today, more than 400 reactors are operating in 30 countries. Most are in Europe, North America, East Asia, and South Asia. The United States is the largest producer of nuclear power, while France has the largest share of electricity generated by nuclear power. Then, location of nuclear energy is suitable built in area load focus and also suitable built in the area high load requirement. Point 5 is cooling system. Selepas tenaga elektrik diagihkan kepada pengguna, cooling tower in a tertiary circuit are used to remove heat at the reactor in a primary circuit and release the heat to the environment. But how does it works in cooling system? Let's take a look at step number 1. Cooling system used to remove heat in a reactor which is made of uranium pellets. Then step 2, the fuel rods in the reactor release the energy, and then this energy heats water and converts into the steam to turning off the turbine. Step number 4. The steam from the turbine is cooled in a condenser which results the water to send back to the steam generator to heat and send to the cooling tower. Lastly, the heat water in the cooling tower will become steam and then go to the environment. Point number 6 is environment pollution. This slide shows 6 effects on environment. First, waste stream such as metals, plastic, and electronic waste. Second, power plant emission from the burning of fossil fuel such as coal, gas, and oil. Next, radioactive waste which is high level and low level. Then, waste heat, and the last effect is greenhouse gas emission. Point 7 is output power. The statistics show the output power of nuclear electricity is increased from 2,657 terawatt per hour pada tahun 2018, manakala 2,563 terawatt per hour pada tahun 2019.
Despite potential drawbacks and the controversy that surrounds it, nuclear energy does have a few advantages over some other methods of energy production. The production is produce no polluting gases, does not contribute to global warming, very low fuel cost, and power station has very long lifetime. One of the reasons that nuclear energy falls under fire so frequently is due to the many disadvantages it brings. Its waste is radioactive and safe disposal is very difficult and expensive. Local thermal pollution from wastewater affects marine life. Cost of building and safely decommissioning are very high, and it cannot react quickly to change in electricity demand. Renewable energy or non-renewable energy. In conclusion, nuclear is considered as non-renewable energy source. The material most often used in nuclear power plants is the element uranium. Nuclear generation is the only source of electricity that can produce a constant supply of power, known as baseload power. Otherwise, nuclear energy produces radioactive material. Radioactive waste can be extremely toxic, causing burns and increasing the risk for cancers, blood disease, and bone decay. This is some of our reference. Thank you for spending your time listening to our presentation.